Tell you a little bit about this so that you understand what I'm talking about.
Many requests to play this again.
Plant that grows out in the woods and the fields looks something like a turnip green. Everybody calls it poke salad. Poke salad. Used to know a girl lived down there and she'd go out in the evenings and pick her a mess of it, carry it home and cook it for supper. Cause that's about all they had to eat. They did all right. Now down in Louisiana, where the alligators grow so mean, there lived a girl that I swear to the world made the alligators look tame. Poke salad, Annie. Poke salad, Annie. Everybody said it was a shame, cause her mama was working on a chain gang. A mean businesswoman. Every day for supper time, she'd go down by the truck patch and pick her mess of poke salad and carry it home in a tow sack. Poke salad, Annie. The gators got your granny. Chomp, chomp, chomp. And everybody said it was a shame, cause her mama was working on a chain gang. A wretched, spiteful, straight razor toting woman. Lord, I must take my mess up. Her daddy was lazy and no count, claimed he had a bad back. All her brothers were fit for was stealing watermelons out of my truck patch. Poke salad, Annie. The gators got your granny. Ooh. Everybody said it was a shame, cause her mama was working on a chain gang. I need me a mess of it. Ooh, good God. Got to have me. Ate her up.
Oh, I just love that record. I hope you don't mind. I played that a couple of times. That's Tony Joe White. That's a song called Poke Salad Annie. You see, this is the sort of thing I'm talking about. Whilst I was talking to the fat boy there, I said, I never said nothing, right? There are people sending me emails already but telling me that that's a double negative. Sure, but here's the thing. We had this argument about grammar the other day. Mm-hmm. I think it's okay to use bad grammar as long as you know what you're talking about in speech. You can write down, when you're writing, you have to write it properly. But if you're speaking, as long as... Now, if I say to you, I never said nothing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. So why would people complain if I said that? Because it's not grammatical. No. Because there is no confusion as to what that means. Mm-hmm. So people are just being shirty by saying that. Yeah. They're saying, why did you say that? I said it twice deliberately because I wanted people to contact me and tell me that I shouldn't say it. I never said nothing. Now, what do you think about that?
I think I'm happy enough with that. I'm happy. It's a Monday morning, and it's.
You don't sound happy. You don't look happy.
No, it's a nice morning, and I'm happy.
You're usually half asleep on a Monday morning.
No, I walked down to work this morning.
You did not work. Where was that? Here?
Yes. So I
don't be calling this work.
A man that I met over the weekend.
Yes.
He complained about your wee thing at night.
Did he?
Yes.
I'd like to know his name.
Do you know your wee thing you have on?
What's that? At night? I don't know.
Yes, you do.
The wee thing that I have on at night.
You have a wee thing on the radio at night.
Janet Turnaway. I have a wee thing on the radio at night.
Yeah. It's on 7 o'clock, isn't it?
I don't know what that is.
Is it not?
What are you talking about?
There's something, a man listens...
You mean a program? A program?
It's something that this man listens to. And he said...
That I'm on it?
He says, yes. And it's clips from your program.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you not know about that? It was called Anderson Extra.
No, this is on every night.
Every night.
Yes.
And what's it on?
He said, and
Do you know what it is? That's the podcast.
Is that what it is? It's some
Janet, tell him about the podcast.
Sometimes it lasts 13 minutes or some. Yeah.
Did nobody tell you about the podcast?
Well,
we do that every day when we finish this program. Do you know the way I stay here?
I thought it was on. I assumed when I was talking to the man, it was on every night at 7:00. I pretended I knew what he was talking about. You see.
Let me explain
but
what
the
happens.
point that he made was this. He says that he listens to Radio Ulster on the that wee thing.
It's called the iPlayer. Sean.
Right.
Yeah.
And but he says that your volume is the worst of all the levels.
I know, so we're trying to get it sorted
No, he
out.
said he can't hear you in particular. He said you can hear me. You can hear if you take
That's
a
'cause
phone
you're
call.
rough.
You can take a phone call, but they can't hear you, and especially when you whisper. He said it's terrible. It's very annoying, and he's a regular listener.
I'm trying to sort it out.
He
Nobody's
listens
helping
to-
me here.
He listens to Radio Ulster and Radio 4 on the wee thing.
That's okay. It's called the iPlayer. Why don't you just call it the iPlayer?
I don't know where it is.
It's on your computer, Sean. Every day at 12 o'clock when this program ends, do you ever notice that I stay here for a little while whenever
Yes.
you go away?
Yes,
What do you
yes.
think I'd be doing when I'm staying here? What I'm doing is
Going over the old
putting the podcast together because the podcast is very important. Sometimes it's not there due to lack of illness, but most days it's there. And that's what we do.
Well,
and
can
you
you
should know all
increase-
about it because you're involved in the program.
you-
You're on it too. You should listen to it sometime and realise what we do here.
We can't be on it because nobody pays you.
Nobody pays us, no, but we do it out of loyalty. We do it because we feel as if the listeners deserve it, and we do it for the benefit of overseas listeners who may not get an opportunity to listen to this program because of overwhelming time differences.
Well, can you turn your level up today?
I'm up as far as I can go, and I know that people will still tell me that they can't hear me. There's nothing I can do. There's something wrong with the equipment, and nobody's listening to me. I've turned it into Nolan.
See?
Did you see me turning it into Nolan there?
Yeah.
One of the things that I think is important that we tell the people all over the world, you can listen to this program live or anytime you want on the iPlayer. But if you want to hear a small digest of the program containing all the
You
bits...
can't hear it on your radio.
No.
That's no good.
You can hear it on the radio if you switch on your radio and if you live somewhere near here. But if you live in, say, Papua New Guinea, you cannot turn on your radio and get Radio Ulster for obvious reasons. What you do is you go on your computer and you can listen to this program live if you wish. But the only thing is you have to stay up until about 6 o'clock in the morning.
I assumed that this man. I just assumed this man worked in Belfast.
Where does he work?
Even though I don't know, even though he didn't say where he worked or anything at all about his occupation, I just assumed here's a man travelling home at night, and he's listening to you on the wee thing.
He
And
may be
can't
listening
hear
on
you.
he can get it on the iPhone. What happens is if he's got his Wi-Fi, he can go on the iPhone and listen to the podcast.
Could he hear that in his car?
Yes, he can.
That's what I.
You should go to some kind of course
That's what
where
I-
the people tell you what the things you can do these days. You can do nearly everything now. I have a machine here. And do you know what I can do? I'm going to show it to you now. It's on my iPhone. It's an app called Shazam.
I know about that.
What is it?
It's it tells you what music's playing.
Yeah.
I know all about that.
If you're walking down the street
Yeah. If you see me walking down the street
and I start to cry each time we
meet,
walk on by. If I'm walking down the street and I'm going past somebody's window,
Yes.
you know the way you would look in there?
Yeah.
Well, I don't do that because I'm afraid. I might see something I don't want to see, or somebody might shoot me or something, or report me to the police, but you have no such fears. If I'm walking by the window, do you remember I remember the very first time I ever became aware of the radio. Did I ever tell you about this? And I was reminded when I saw the movie Billy Liar. Billy Liar was a movie that was out in the 60s. Very, very good book. It was about a young lad in Leeds who worked and was very disillusioned by what he did. The part was played by Tom Courtenay. Yeah. It's a very interesting movie if you watch it now because it's of its time and it's interesting. Look, Janet's listening.
Yeah.
Hello, Janet. I never saw Janet listening before. She's turning around listening to me.
And she likes
talking.
films.
Does she?
Yes, she does.
Thank you for joining us.
Go on, back to Tom Courtenay.
Anyway, and there was one particular, he has all these fantasy moments. He's walking to work, you see, and then suddenly he's at the head of an army and he's marching down the street. He has these, illusions of grandeur. But one time he's walking down the street and all the windows of all the little 2-up, 2-down houses, little small houses, working class terrace houses, all the windows are all open. It's summer. And out of every one of them comes Which used to be the house, the signature tune of Housewives' Choice.
And your programme.
And my program. I adopted that because of sentimental reasons. And that's the first time I ever listened to the radio. And I also used to listen to music while you work when I was ill in bed. Ever tell you about the time
What
I
was
was
the
sick in
theme tune
bed?
to that?
I can't. They used to play that every morning and every afternoon about, I think it was 11:15 and 4:45. When I was lying ill in bed, with shingles or something, whatever it was. I was very ill when I was a child. You know that, don't you?
Yes, we know.
And I lay there in bed for 6 months, and the only thing that kept me from sanity and indeed death was the picture of the Sacred Heart above me and the BBC. Mm-hmm. And they would go, do, 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 do. I know what I used to do? I used to open my window during the summer in the same way, and across the street was Hogg and Mitchell's shirt factory. There was 1,500 girls working there. And they used to open their windows too to let the steam out. And when Music While You Work was on, they would sing along with the music. And I'd be lying in bed and I'd hear the music coming out of the radio, and I'd also hear the girls from the factory across the street singing to the music as well. And I was in a little fantasy land. And this is what made me the insane person that I am today.
I walked past your old house yesterday morning about 8:15.
You couldn't have, because it was blown up by IRA.
No, your old house.
Which old house?
Your old Sackville Street.
It was blown up by IRA. And my other house as well. I had 2 houses blown up by IRA. Not because I was in them.
I stopped.
No, it was just
I stopped.
It's called
I paused.
involuntary demolition. What?
And I looked. I stopped and just paused for a moment. I said, "He used to live here."
But the house is gone.
The house is gone. It
was blown up.
I stopped outside a shop where it was, which
Where
is
it used
now-
to be.
yeah.
I used to live there, yes.
And I looked across at the shop across the street.
That's still there.
Foster's, I think. or
Foster's, that's still there.
Foresters.
Foresters, that's
Foresters,
it.
yeah.
But we called it Fosters because we didn't know how to say Foresters.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is too local for the people. There are people sitting in Uri now wondering what we're talking about.
Shazam.
Shazam!
What's your story?
If you're walking down the street, each time we meet,
Yes.
walk on by, and you hear a piece of music coming out, maybe somebody's playing it. Instead of knock, and you say, "That I wonder what that is." If you knock on the door, you say, "By the way, that piece of music, what is that?" You won't do that. But what you do is you hold up your iPhone, and it tells you what it is.
I know.
It's a little app. So you wouldn't have known that except for Bradley.
Well,
The undertone told you.
Someone had to tell you when you bought your phone.
And why did he not tell you about what an iPod is? Why did he not tell you about?
Because he knows it's wasted on me.
Why did he not tell you about our podcasts?
I don't have a phone.
You have a phone that I gave you.
I haven't.
Here's a poem that was sent in.
Janet's tapping.
That means there's a phone call, or else she's hungry. One or the other. One day, here's a phone call. Sorry. Look, will you stop talking to me? Here's a card sent in. There's a little poem. I'll just read this. It's by an anonymous donor.
Let me see that card.
It's a dog in front of
the
it.
dog in front of it. Excuse me. Who's that sent to?
It's sent to you.
I
found
for
it.
the- You found it at my desk.
Yes, I did.
I was looking for it.
Yes, it says from Lovelorn.
Lovelorn.
Lovelorn. One day last week in Belfast, much to my surprise, there was Gerry Anderson right before my eyes. My God, he was so handsome and looking quite sublime. I thought, I'll have to get rid of his wife and then he will be mine. Says I to him, "Good morning, sir. The same to you," says he. And I walked on. It seemed on air. I was happy as can be. Traffic warden.
Why was that sent to me?
I don't know. It was sent to you. Maybe the girl herself was too embarrassed to send it to me in case she thought it might be some kind of lewd proposition. If she had left her phone number, it'd been far better. A gentleman, is there a phone call here?
Yes.
I bet you it doesn't work.
Right.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
I'm disappointed. Sorry, I was depending on that not to work. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. You need to speak up a little bit because I cannot really hear you.
You see? Well, what can I do? I can't speak anymore. I can't speak.
Keep shouting. No, you must turn your head away and you keep turning your head back.
I'm not turning my... Look at me now. My head is jammed on the wireless.
Right, that's better.
It's not better. It's the same as it was before.
It's not. You don't talk directly into the microphone.
I don't like doing that. Anyway.
Sean, if you'd listen to Sean, you'd be all right.
Yes.
If I listened to Sean, I'd be insane. Tell me what you want today.
Oh. I've been on here for nearly an hour, and you're telling me to hurry up now.
We only started at 10:30. It's only 10 to 11. You've only been there for 20 minutes.
Yeah, but it's like the bloke out doing getting caught for speed, and he says you're doing 70 mile an hour. He says I couldn't be. I'm only out of the house 15 minutes. Well, listen to me now.
That's like the Frank Carson.
You need to straighten my head out.
That's like the Frank Carson joke about the fella who had the car. And he said, it's the same joke. And he said, I'm going to sell this car, but there's 90,000 miles on it. He said, "Oh, don't be selling that." He said, "You sell it." They put the clock back. And he came back and said, "Do you sell the car?" And I said, "What would I sell the car for? There's only 20,000 miles on it."
Very good. The way I tell him. The way you tell him.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, all week.
Yes.
I never get my wife's birthday. I never get her anything. I never buy her a card. I never do nothing because I don't remember.
He said, "I never do nothing." He said, "You don't do anything." That's what you should say.
I make a point of it this year. I'm going to buy her a card. I'm going to get a request for her on the radio, on your wonderful radio show. Not Nolan.
No.
And I woke up, everything was done. I got the card, got everything done, wrote it, and I got up Saturday morning. I thought, that's okay, now I can ring the Anderson show.
Yes.
But it was Saturday morning, not Friday morning.
You should have thought of that before you did.
I did think of it, but I get it mixed up. My head is something wrong with my head.
Relax, it's okay. Everything's all right. Everything's all right. You're on the radio now.
Her birthday was on Saturday.
Yes.
She was nearly as old as me.
Yes.
Not quite. Next year she might be as old as me.
If you're still there.
And she would dearly love anything by Adele. And I know that Sean will play it for her. You probably will do, because, you're not a bad man.
Not entirely.
No.
I'm like a curate's egg. Only bad.
Like a what?
A curate's egg. Only bad in places.
Oh, I see.
Right. Okay, I will do that.
Will you do that for me?
Sean, the man has requested something by Adele.
Yes.
Maybe perhaps we can get something out of our jukebox.
And it's for Nano.
Nano is your name's wife? Sorry, is your wife's name? Do you know what I said? Do you know what that was there? What was that? I said your name's wife.
Your head's nearly as bad as mine.
What is that? What is that called when I said that? Your name's wife?
A spoonerism or
a spoonerism. That's it.
Yeah.
Good man. That was a spoonerism. That's my first spoonerism today.
I never heard that before in my life, and I'm nearly old.
It's from it was from a master, a lecturer in Oxford. Many years.
I'm just hoping that my two girls in Sydney are listening to you this morning. I text them, and they're the McAllisters. You know of them. You've had them on the show.
Yes,
You've
indeed,
had me on the show before as well.
I have indeed, yeah. And
Happy from Ballymena.
Yes, and I met a man yesterday in TK Maxx in Belfast who told me that his two sons, or one son, I'm not quite sure, one son is living in Sydney, and he wanted me to say hello to him. And I think his name is Morgan. I wrote down the name, and I can't remember the first name. I think it's Dennis Morgan.
Well, yes.
Anyway.
Yes, I'll give him some of my time seeing his sons in
I think it's fair enough, yes, because we say good morning. It should be good night, basically, to all the people in Sydney.
You could say good morning to Maeve and Mary.
Okay, so that's your duty done, and what you promised yourself has now been accomplished. It's been achieved.
That's me back on track again.
Yes.
I'll get kisses now.
All right then, and you never know.
Or a slap across the face with a wet fish.
Okay, well, thank you very much indeed, and
Thank you very much.
I'm glad to have been able to help you in this way.
You are wonderful.
I am indeed. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye, you and Sean.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Do
you want to start that
yes.
again?
Larry's on 2, and I'm told that you don't need iPhone. You just ring 2580 and Shazam tells you the tune. What does that mean? Explain that to me.
Oh, you can ring and
ring who?
Yeah, but you don't need to.
Ring.
I know that. Yeah.
What do you mean you know that?
I mean, if you have an iPhone, you just point it at the piece of music.
No,
and it tells you.
No, just ring.
But why would you ring when it just tells you?
That's what I'm asking. Explain. Ring what on your mobile phone?
Yeah, but why would you make a call?
So you don't need an iPhone. You just need an ordinary phone. I don't know. You're the boy. You're the boy with all the gadgets.
All I know is that I've got this thing. If I point it at the radio, it'll tell me what it is.
I know, but you don't. Sandra, I beg your pardon, Sandra says you don't need to do that, or you don't need an iPhone. She said, just ring 2580 and Shazam tells you the tune.
Oh yeah.
Is that what phone is? Eh?
I rang the number. Nothing.
Janet said she rang the number. Nothing. But would you not need a code? What's this number?
Listen, why do you know? Here's
2580.
Here's a suggestion.
Where is that?
Here's a suggestion.
Yes.
Instead of asking me what that number is, why didn't you ask the person who rang?
Sandra texted in.
Well, ask Sandra to text more information. You shouldn't tell me stuff like that until you know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, why do you tell me? How am I
I'm
supposed to know?
bringing it to you to tell me.
But how am I supposed to know what you're talking about if you don't know? All I'm...
Janice,
I hear that. Where's this?
it's a call in two, apparently.
No, tap twice so that I'll know.
That was
That was
three.
nearly 3.
That was 3.
See, I would have turned on 3. Give
Yeah.
us 2.
2.
That's better.
No, that was 3 again. Do,
No,
2.
no,
That's 2.
that's it, yeah. I feel like a horse. Hello, good morning, circus trainer. Yeah. Oh, hello?
Hello.
Could I ask you to turn your radio off? There's a big echo there.
Yeah, okay. Wait 1 minute.
Okay. That was a bad echo there.
Yeah.
Oh, bad echo.
So you don't know what that number is then?
I have no idea. Why would you
Yeah,
ring
go
up?
ahead then.
Yes, and go ahead now. Right. Go ahead. Away you go. What can we do for you today?
Well, look, Gerry, I'm going back to 50s, 60s, okay?
Yes?
In Uri, okay?
Yes, okay.
Can you remember the bucket?
The bucket. I need more information.
Well, the bucket used to be a dance hall where we all used to go as kids, where all the show bands started playing, including the Gallagher's Gilly Band.
Well, that's a way back too far for me. Where was the
Well,
bucket?
that's what I said. I mean, I'm roughly, I'm about maybe 20 years older than you, but
yeah.
I'll tell you what was on. I'll tell you the biggest hit parade in those days was Hucklebuck Shoes.
Well, that would have been the early 60s.
That's right.
That should be the early 60s. The bucket, where was the bucket then? Where was the bucket?
Well, put it this way, do you know Newry at all?
I do indeed, yes.
Do you know Castle Street?
Castle Street, yes, I do.
Well, the bucket was in Castle Street.
Oh, was it really? Well, that's fairly
Yeah.
central, yeah. The bucket, was it an upstairs place? Did you go upstairs to it?
That's right. You've up steps to it or on the
I think
outside.
I do. The only place I ever played in Uri was the Town Hall, of course, and St. Coleman's.
Yeah, it's in Coleman's. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That was
but,
upstairs. I used to like it there. That's a lovely old building, and it's still there.
That's right.
That's lovely, yeah. But I never knew the bucket. Anyway, did you frequent the bucket?
Well, as I say, I belonged to a band.
Yes.
A military type band that started off and called the Amateurs, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes.
And
yeah.
then they used to hold the dancing there for teenagers,
Well,
which I was in those days.
were you originally from Newry because you've got a different kind of accent? You must have been away for a
Well,
long
I live
time.
in Reading now, see.
Oh, you're still there, but you were born in Newry.
Well, I wasn't born in Newry. I was born in Newtown, Orange, but my school life and working life was Newry.
And what age were you when you left Newry? Were you a young man when you
I
left?
was 17 and a half.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, you've been away a long time because you've almost got an English accent, but not quite.
Yeah, well, I hope I don't.
Well, you may as well if you're being in Reading. How long have you been there now? Are you 70 now?
No, well, I'm coming up 73.
Well, you must have been there nearly 50 years. Nearly 50 years in Reading, yeah. Well, do you listen to this programme? Do you listen to Radio Ulster in general?
Oh, I listen to this all the time. You see, this is the odd thing I was trying to figure out, and I know it's totally different, but I watch on 201 every night about the showcase.
Yes.
Which they showcase the whole of South of Ireland. And I've always thought, I've tried to get through to the Ulster television and have a word with them. What I'm saying, with all the things that's coming up in Belfast, like the Titanic and everything like that.
But have you got Sky?
Yeah, I've got Sky, yeah.
But see, you can get BBC Northern Ireland.
Yeah, I know. You don't see what I'm talking about. What I'm saying to you is this thing on 201 showcase goes not just to England, but it goes out through the world.
I don't know what that is. Showcase, is it a program or is it a?
It showcases It showcases different parts of South Ireland every week.
Yes.
And I'm just trying to figure out. Boy, tell me, is there no way we can showcase the whole of Ireland, not just South?
Yeah, well, there's an idea. Maybe perhaps people out there who know what they're talking about, and I'm not saying that you don't. I'm sure the people out there would maybe perhaps bring that on board and maybe make that happen.
Well, I would love to see it happen because for the simple reason, You see, what I'm saying to you, the only thing I can get over here is Radio Ulster.
Yeah, but you can get BBC Northern Ireland on TV. You can get the Northern Ireland news and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I can get all that. But the point is, I'm talking about
you can get the estate
part. I can't get.
You can get the estate and everything, and tributes
No,
to Frank
I'll
Carson.
tell you what. The only thing I get over here, honestly, is the southern news, which is over here.
Yes. Okay.
Right. ITV South and
well, you can
BBC.
get any. You can watch anything now, as long as you know where it is. It's very difficult, especially for people who are a wee bit older. It's very difficult to actually pinpoint where you can find the things that you want to watch and see, because there are so many ways you can listen to. All kinds of ways. I mean, I even Sean, is confused.
Yeah,
aren't you?
Yeah.
See, he doesn't know what an iPod is. And it's very difficult for all these different things. And I feel sorry for people. I wonder what it must be like to be over 60, and have to try and figure these things out. I can't wait.
Well, it's not bigger now. It's not bigger now. You see, the point is, if I can get every night country music and everything like that, and the showcase, be talking about everywhere in the south of Ireland, every night or certain nights of the week. Why can't I get Ulster so we can showcase Ulster as well?
All I can say is there's no answer to that, and I don't know what the answer is. Maybe, but thank you for posing the question, and thank you for suggesting that an alternative is available. Okay, sir, thank you very much indeed, and you've put your point across, and we hope you can see us and hear us as many times as you can.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I listen to Radio Ulster every day.
Good man, keep doing it, and never mind Hugo.
Well, come on, he's part of the equation, isn't he?
Of course he is. Of course he is. Hugo's part of us. All right, then. Thank you very much.
Yeah, ta-ra.
Bye. Ta-ra.
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 Right.
Do you know what I can't stand? I saw a thing the other night. Are you watching Homeland? Hello? Are you watching Homeland?
No, we're both saying
I know.
No.
Homeland is one of the best things I've seen on television for a long time. It's about this guy, an American soldier, who went to Afghanistan and was actually brainwashed. And the story seems to be that he's become a spy, and they bring him back, and he's a hero. But they suspect that he's actually been brainwashed, and kind of like the Manchurian Candidate, that type of thing. But anyway, it's great. It's really, really good. And I recommend. It's on Channel 4 at the moment, but it's also on RTE. It's been on different places, but I'm watching it on Channel 4. It's brilliant. But you know what I wish they wouldn't do? Now, the guy who's the star of that's an English actor called Damian Lewis, right? And he's great in it. And I am really totally convinced by his character. But then he came on the Graham Norton show on Friday night. And I can't believe in him anymore. Because he came across like some kind of stand-up comedian. No, bad stand-up comedian.
A man's going to pip now.
Oh.
On 92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
This is BBC Radio Ulster.
The BBC News at 11 o'clock. I'm Jenny Lowry. Within the past few minutes, a judge has ruled that a paralysed man who wants a doctor to be able to lawfully end his life can take his case to the High Court. Tony Nicklinson suffers from locked-in syndrome, which means he's severely paralysed but his mind is unimpaired. He cannot assist in his own suicide, so would need a doctor to kill him. The Afghan Parliament has passed a resolution condemning a US soldier who shot dead 16 civilians in their own homes yesterday. President Barack Obama has apologised and expressed his shock at the killings. Reporting from Kabul, Quentin Somerville.
In Kandahar, the dead have now been buried. Local elders told the BBC there would be no further protests as long as the man responsible for the killings is brought to justice. And more details are emerging. Locals say the US soldier moved quickly through their village. Finding some doors locked, he eventually broke into 3 homes. He killed 11 in one house, an entire family, and 5 people in the other 2. The Afghan Parliament condemned the killings and demanded that the soldier be tried in an Afghan court. But the military agreement between the US and Afghanistan means the soldier will be tried by the US military.
A 44-year-old man stew at Enniskillen Magistrates Court this morning, charged with attempted murder. It follows an incident at Main Street in Dromore in County Tyrone in which a 73-year-old man suffered a serious head injury. There's been a call for the introduction of a national driving course for older people who want to continue behind the wheel. A report shows the proportion of people aged 70 and above with a driving licence has jumped from 15% in 1975 to nearly 60% in 2010. The Parliamentary Advisory Council for Transport Safety says doctors need to be better at advising on someone's physical and mental ability to drive. Time for the sport now, and here's Denise Watson.
Manchester City boss Roberto Mancini says the Premier League title will be decided when they face Manchester United. His side lost top spot to United following their shock defeat to Brendan Rodgers' Swansea yesterday. Locally, Dungannon Swifts and Donegal Celtic will replay their Irish Cup quarter-final tonight. The winners meet Crusaders in the semis. Rory McIlroy remains world number one golfer despite only coming third at the Cadillac Championship in Florida. Justin Rose won the event. McIlroy now takes a break for 3 weeks ahead of the opening major of the season, the Masters. And the Belfast Giants are closing in on this season's Elite League ice hockey title. Victory in one of next weekend's 2 home games against the Sheffield Steelers will secure it.
And time now for the weather with Cecilia Daly.
It looks like another cloudy day for most, though the cloud will lift and thin and random breaks will develop here and there. So some sunnier moments are likely, but there'll always be more cloud than sun. It's largely dry. Any drizzle will tend to become more isolated and temperatures should reach 11 or 12 Celsius. Tonight the clouds will sink back onto the hills with drizzle returning widely.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel News.
In Coal Island, the Moor Road is closed for resurfacing between Ballinakilly Road and Annika Road. The road is closed between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. and that's every day this week. A diversion is in place via Ballinakilly Road, Dungannon Road, Lineside, Stewartstown Road and Annaher Road. And at George Best Belfast City Airport, the 10:10 arrival from Southampton has been further delayed until 12:10. Elaine Sutherland reporting.
Travel News on BBC Radio Ulster.
On Talkback with Wendy Austin today, Henry McLeish, former First Minister of Scotland. He'll be here on devolution, Max or otherwise, on UK Unity and Rangers FC. Do you remember when BBC Newsline asked what you would cut to save the NHS? And many punters chose speech therapy. Well, now the service can't cope, we hear. Have you got a stammer? Has it ruined your life? Or have you triumphed over it? Give us a call today. Also, should over 70s have to take a driving course? Should we all? Want your calls on that. And Deal or No Deal, Red or Black, hugely popular shows, but are they gambling? Should they be taken off the TV? Tell me. Talk back at 12.
Once in a while, I can feel the whole world spinning. My hair twisting in the wind. I can't find the brake. The clock on the dashboard is coiled like a snake. There's years flying by me at a wide open clip, on wheels made of lightning, just barely a blip. If there's room at the top for a loser, look out. The radio's blasting a mean twist and shout. I'm a mess. At times like these, a man should take a blindfold and smoke. Take a walk, take a drive, take a knee, take a dive, take a month, take a year, take a hike, disappear. Take it on faith, whatever you get. You just close your eyes, it won't hurt a bit. The firing squad's gathered, the captain grins. All the change in my pockets won't pay for my sins. I'm a mess. When I woke up, they'd strapped me in an MRI, like dye in my veins. Head velcroed down, home happy slippers and a blue paper gown. The banging went on for an hour or more. Then they slid me out like a boat onto shore. The technician who caught me was sporting a smile that said, God gave me wisdom, but the devil's got style. I'm a mess, nothing less. I confess, I'm a mess. On the third rail is smoking like char. The thunderstorm hits and I flag down a car on the screen in Times Square. I look like a wreck and we lunge out of traffic, shrinking down to a speck. The hooded girl turns saying, look who's alive. And I say, boy, you can't scare me, just shut up and drive. I'm a mess. Oh God, yeah, I confess, I'm a mess. I'm a mess.
That's two tracks. First one was You Can't Do That, an old Beatles song recorded by the old Beatles, and that's from an album called Belfast to Boston. It was, of course, Henry McCullough and his blues band, which are Polish. Actually, that's an album he made with the Polish backing group. Very, very good. And that last track was Sidney Crowell from his new Sydney? Sidney Crowell.
Getting everything wrong.
Rodney Crowell.
Beatles too.
Well, the old Beatles, yeah.
What do you mean the old Beatles?
The old Beatles are old now. Sure, Paul McCartney's 70.
You didn't say recorded by the old Beatles.
Why not?
To add that. Just recorded by
it's time that people start calling the Beatles the old Beatles. Because Paul McCartney, what age would John Lennon be if he was alive today?
No idea.
72. Oh. And Paul McCartney's, well, Ringo's over 70, and Paul McCartney's just around 70. Yeah, I think that's it.
You can't call when
they're old Beatles.
When they recorded, they were the young Beatles.
Yeah, but they're the old Beatles now. Yeah. It's time people
recorded by the Beatles.
Call a spade, I say. Showcase, apparently that man was raving about it. We've discovered it's on channel...
Janet says, old Gerry.
I don't mind. Call a spade, but you just watch yourself. You just watch yourself, right, okay?
There's a wee call for you.
Showcase is an Irish country and western channel. Did you know that?
No.
Did you know that?
No. Many times I have to tell you no.
No, but see, you don't have to answer twice. You see, when I say, did you know that? You say, no. Did you know that? See, it's rhetorical the second time. You're just trying to make a fool of me, aren't you?
I'm not.
Sean, if you call 2580 and hold your phone towards the music, Shazam will text you back with the name of the song and the artist for a small fee. But why would you do that if it'll just tell you without you phoning? I tried it during the course of that second song there.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I discovered?
What?
It doesn't work in here.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't. It doesn't work in here, because this studio is lead-lined.
No, we did it in here.
In there.
And where?
In there.
No, we did it in one of the studios.
In this one?
No, this one down here.
But did you not hear me saying it doesn't work in here?
We did it.
I know, but you did it in another studio.
We did it with the Undertones phone.
In this studio?
I don't know.
Yes or no? In this studio?
It was one of the studios.
Was it this studio?
I don't know.
No, you knew a moment ago.
I'm not sure. No, I think it may have been the other studio.
Okay. So, in other words, it wasn't this studio. All I'm saying is it doesn't
What's
work
the difference
in
that studio and that studio?
The difference is that Shazam doesn't work in here and it works down there. It didn't work here.
Maybe you didn't do it right.
I did it right. I loved the Indigo Prime track you played on Friday. Who are they? Have you any more songs by them? I love that girl's voice very much. Please play more if you can. Well, I'm not quite sure I know too much about Indigo Prime, but I will find out. Showcase is a Sky channel, and he was talking about a programme that is on at 11 p.m. called IrishTV.ie, out and about in Ireland. Ooh, sounds horrendous. It's about country and western. You go beyond that. Tell that man you can get the BBC on Sky. You can, of course, BBC Northern Ireland. You can get all your local programmes on Sky. I don't know what it is. It's 9 something. All you have to do, you can get all the regions. You get BBC Northern Ireland, BBC Wales, BBC Scotland, BBC whatever it is. You can get everything. Everything is possible. There's nothing beyond our grasp, Sean. Everything is possible. That's what's wrong with do you know what's wrong with the media today? There are too many things you can get because, do you know what it reminds me of? Do you know at Christmas, you don't know this because you don't go out. At Christmas, when you go into, say, a large record store, say Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, you're going to a large record store on Christmas Eve. Now, when you're in the Christmas store, say for instance today, the record store. If you go to a big record like HMV or something like that.
Today?
If you go today,
right.
Everything is orderly. Everything is all packed and nicely on the shelves and good. But see, on Christmas Eve, what happens is that all these men are coming in and they haven't bought anything, so they just rummage through everything. And it's a well-known fact that shops turned into chaos on Christmas Eve. Everything's on the floor and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do, you go in there, and it discourages me greatly because you go in there and you see everything's lying on the floor and you're tramping, you're walking over CDs and stuff like that, and you realise there's so much stuff there that it is valueless. Valueless.
But they don't have CDs. They have the CD cases. They don't have the actual CD.
I didn't say that the CDs were in them. I said
you said there's CDs lying on the floor.
CD cases.
No, you didn't say cases, you said.
I didn't think it was necessary. But all I'm saying is there's so much around us that everything is valueless. Everything seems worthless. Nothing seems of any value. So therefore, when you've got so much choice, nothing seems worthwhile choosing. Do you know what I mean? For instance, you put on TV. I mean, how many times have you done this, went through and there's a million channels and there's nothing on? Because there's so many channels. If there were 2 channels, you'd watch something. Because you have a million channels, you don't watch anything and you just turn it off. Do you remember when we only had 2 channels and 3? Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
What
was the point of this?
The point is, the more choice you have, the more worthless everything seems.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It's a peculiar human condition. The more choice you have, nothing seems worth choosing.
I have noticed now that I'm turning the television off
exactly
earlier and earlier. No,
you would have never turned the television off when you had only 2 stations because you'd always pick something. You'd say, "Oh, look at that. I won't watch that. I wonder what's on the other side." And you turn on the other side. "Oh, I prefer that." And then you'd watch that. But now when you've got 40, 50, 100, 200 channels, it takes you so long going through them, you get tired and then you just turn it off.
I turned the TV off around 6:30 last night.
That's right.
So couldn't be bothered. Just sat.
Yes, that's right. That's just what we all do. It's one of those things.
Janet's been tapping on her screen.
I heard her. Your name's wife is not a spoonerism. Your knife's whim. What is a spoonerism? You see, there's a person like you, a pedant. I'm just looking at these things here. There's all kinds of explanations here. I'm just going through these emails. It's important that I check them out because there might be something actually important. Just looking at them, that's a lot of crap. Hold on a second. That's all rubbish. It's all rubbish. Here's a lady who's written a song for you. It's Roy Walker's song for the Eurovision, sung to the tune of The Homes of Donegal. Remember, just say what you see, it's good, but it's not right. Buzz and Gerry, here we go. You've done it. You've got it right. Sean's in play, now take a square. 5 seconds, here we go. Great guess, but it is not the one. It's good, but it's not right. You have to learn that and do as it Roy Walk. Can you do that?
I shall.
I'll send it to you.
It's good.
Will you do it before the end of the programme?
Well, I don't know about that.
I just did it.
I know.
Off the top of my head. Could you do that when Roy Walk was
We'll try it. We'll try it.
You're no
We'll
fun.
try. Jeepers, what more can I do? What more?
Nah, he's right. He's right. Look, he's right. Look, he's well soaring, Sean. Look, leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Two of you getting there. Look at you.
Do you know what I heard the other day and I thought about you?
Swine flu or something? What?
No.
What?
I heard men talking about round-heeled girls.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and I thought about you. Do you know what that is, Janet? Janet doesn't know what that is.
Yeah, she's letting on. She doesn't know. She knows rightly.
She doesn't, she said.
Okay, well, why did you think about me when you heard about round-heeled girls?
Because you talked to them. Didn't you?
So why wouldn't I? You never know.
You used to talk to him at the top of your street.
That's right, yes.
And I thought about, I said, he was talking to the round-heeled girls.
I was always very friendly with prostitutes.
Cobblestones, and I'm just explaining to Janet, the cobblestones in England, or the streets in England were cobblestones, and they're for the girls in their high heels. They're walking up and down that often. That their heels became rounded, so they were known as the round-heeled girls.
Ladies of the night, yeah.
Just explain that to Janet.
Janet knows.
So I thought about Tim. I heard about that the other night, and I thought about you.
Janet knows more than you think. She's pretending not to know stuff because she knows it's not nice to know everything. No, I used to be very friendly with prostitutes. Maybe this is not the sort of thing we should talk about today, but I mean, I used to regard them as very interesting.
Yes.
And I haven't changed my mind. Who's on the line here?
David.
Is he on one?
Yes.
Good. Good morning, David. Good morning, David.
Morning, Gerry.
David, can I ask you to put off the radio because there's a bit of an echo there and it's a while. See, you won't hear me. See, people keep doing this. They don't know not to put it off.
Janet should tell the people before they
Janet,
come on.
will you tell the people before they come on to turn off their radios? Is it too much to ask?
Then I can't hear you.
That's okay. Nobody can hear me. That's okay. But we can hear you coming through loud and clear, and that's the main thing. What can we do for you today?
It's just going back to the iPad and the iPod stuff.
Yes.
If you can remember.
I can remember. It was only 5 minutes ago. What do you think? I'm a goldfish? Go ahead.
But no, 1970s.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Hello?
My father bought a TV.
You've still got your radio
with
on.
With remote control.
You've still got your radio on.
And we went down the street and started at the bottom of the street.
Yes.
And we turned off everybody's TV on the way up.
Good. Yeah. Actually, Sean's looking for a thing
with
like
remote
that.
Control.
Uh-huh. You see, this is the thing that I think is a good thing. More people should have that. Do you know the way you go out for a walk at night, Sean? You look in people's windows and see what they're watching on television. If you don't like what they're watching, you should turn it off.
I should do that.
Change the channel.
That's exactly what I need.
It matters. A thing like that, the thing that you've always wanted.
Yes.
Just turn it. People watching Coronation Street, turn it off. Put on the BBC Two, the thing about dung beetles.
Yeah.
Anyway, and you had that.
We used to turn over the other, or Channel 4 News.
Yes. Yeah, everybody should watch Channel 4 News. It's the only news worth watching. I mean, if you watch BBC News, it's all about Strictly Come Dancing. Channel 4
I don't watch TV.
Channel 4 News is the best news at 7 o'clock with Jon Snow, and I shouldn't say that, but I don't care. BBC News.
But that's all I wanted to say.
Is there some delay here, or is it me?
There's a delay.
Yes.
No, there's not a delay. There's the radio on in that gentleman's room.
You've still got your radio on, you know, and that's creating a kind of a delay.
No, it's TV. I'm watching TV. It's on. I can't hear anything on my phone.
You see, I can't fight this.
No.
The people can't hear me unless they put on the TV, and if they put on the TV, there's a horrendous. It's like calling from America. What happens if you turn off the TV and see what happens? You see? Hello?
If I turn off the TV, I can't hear anything.
All right, then, okay. What are we going to do about this?
But why don't you try it?
Will you try it? Will you turn off the TV and see what happens?
But is he on the phone? He's obviously on the phone.
I think he's on the phone, yeah.
I can't hear a thing on the phone.
But have you tried turning off the TV?
Hello?
You see, it's a delay. It's like talking to someone in San Francisco 10 years ago. Anyway, no, it's okay. You obviously you refuse to turn off the TV, but that's all right. That's your prerogative. It's your phone.
Right, there's...
Right then.
No, it's turned it off.
TV's off.
Well, can you hear me now?
No.
Brilliant.
There's no answer to that. All right then.
I can't hear a word.
Can you not?
No.
Right, well, we'll do the best we can now that you
I can
can't
hear
hear.
some Donegal boys talking.
Yeah. Now, that's them, these people in there.
That must be you.
That's me. Yeah. That voice you hear is me.
No,
Anyway.
but are you speaking from the bottom of the ocean?
No, it's just... It's the thing here. I can't help it. There's nothing I can do, and nobody's listening. Will somebody listen to me? There's something wrong with this studio! Anyway, sorry. I'm turning it to Nolan again. I can understand what makes him so angry.
I can hear Sean okay.
You see?
Just
But
can't hear
my
you.
microphone is twice as loud
Well,
as
I'll
Sean's.
tell you what we should do. Exactly.
I'll get a bulldozer in.
No, Janet's right.
What?
Come you in here.
Come you in here?
And I'll sit in there.
Come you in here?
Yes, come you in here.
Why did you say you come in here? Why are you saying come you in here?
Well, anyway,
English.
Gerry, it's the best show in the country.
Thank you very much, even though you can't hear me.
Well, I can hear you a wee bit.
That's okay. All right then,
But it's
thanks.
better than Nolan.
I know, absolutely, and he's got all the money.
He starts to do my chandeliers in.
Nolan has so much money, he doesn't know what to do with it.
And
he
so
won't,
much fat.
He won't give it to me. All right then, thank you very much.
Right.
Cheerio.
Cheers, Gerry. Thank you.
Well, excuse me.
I took it out of me, you know.
Oh, yeah, well, there's another call.
Is there?
What do you think of your new chair, your new studio chair?
Did they get it off Stephen Hawking?
Do you not like it?
Did they? I don't.
Do you not?
It's big. It's hard to horror. Now, do you know the last thing you want?
Yes.
In a chair. Now, this is the BBC, and I hate to say this, but you know what happens to the BBC. When they find a thing that works, they get rid of it and bring in something that doesn't work to replace it.
What did Terry Wogan say about the BBC?
If it's not broke,
break it.
Break it.
Break it, yeah.
Right. Right. Now, this chair, what is the thing that you want a chair to do if you're sitting broadcasting? You want a chair that tilts a wee bit forward so that you're not
I like
a salmon against the weir.
No, I like an upright back. I like the back straight.
Yes.
Yes.
But preferably what you need in a chair if you're sitting broadcasting a microphone is a chair that kind of leans you in towards the microphone so you're not
Correct.
too uncomfortable. This
Correct.
one leans the other way.
Yeah.
This one's leaning back.
Yeah.
So in other words, to
Yeah, but
make
you
an
can
effort to
tilt-
get the microphone, you have to hang on to the fucking desk here.
You can tilt forward.
I can tip it.
No, you have a thing underneath your chair.
Ah! Oh, I nearly broke my leg there. It went down on top of my leg. Jeez. Look at this thing. Look at it. Look. It only goes down. It doesn't come up again. Look, it only goes down. Look. That's a great idea. Look, it only goes down. Look.
We're saying nothing.
I'm sitting here like Oliver Plunkett. Look, all you can see is my head. What's the point of getting a chair that only goes down and doesn't come up again? Now, it's broke now. And I'm sitting here looking over the top of the desk like some kind of midget. Anyway,
Fix it right.
I can't
There's
fix
three
it.
levers underneath your bum.
Spoiled for choice here. Well, who's on the line here?
Marion, I do believe.
Look at me.
Marion.
There's Stephen Hawkins here. Look at me. Look at me. You know. Where is she? One or two? Tap the screen. That'll be two. Hello. Hello, I can't stand and I can't sit and I can't talk and I can't get up and I can't go down. And I can't hear and I can't speak and nobody can hear me. Hello, who's that?
Hello, this is Marion here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, that's a change. Thank you very much indeed. What can we do for you today?
I was wanting to know if anybody has any parts for a 1983 Volkswagen Polo Derby.
Thank you, Sean. That's an urgent one. No, I hope you don't think that we are in any way belittling your request. But you see, I have specifically asked Sean not to put through calls looking for bits and pieces like that.
Yes, the Derby, 1983 Derby. What is that?
No, but we will deal with this, of
I'm
course.
trying
It's
to-
not your fault.
Yeah, Volkswagen
What is-
Derby.
what is it again?
It is a 1983 Volkswagen Polo Derby.
Polo Derby.
Is that a hatchback then?
I think so.
You think so?
Is she
You
a
should
hatch-
walk around the back and look.
Hatchback.
That's for my brother-in-law.
Uh-huh. What kind of parts are you looking for?
We're looking for a back bumper and a back driver's tail light.
A back bumper?
And a back driver's tail light.
A back driver's what's a back driver? What's a back driver's
The tail light on the driver's side.
That's right.
Well, why does she say back driver's tail light?
It's just I think me saying you come you in here.
Oh, I see.
It's the same thing. You understand what she means.
I know. It's like never do nothing. You understand what she means.
Yeah.
Back driver's tail light.
Yeah.
It's like, did you see there's a paper today, one of our local papers, it said, what was it on? I haven't got it now. Robbers stole everything. Anyway, do you remember the headline you pointed out to me?
I love that headline.
What was it?
15,000 empty houses lying vacant in Derry. I think that's great.
15,000 empty houses are lying vacant in Derry. Money stole from shop. No, but you see, it's no good. You see, once people don't write properly, it's funny, isn't it? But I could say, the people stole that money from the shop, and you don't mind that because it's not grammatically correct, but you know what I mean. Or you could say there are 15,000 empty houses lying vacant. I mean, you wouldn't really notice that when you're talking because it's a slip of the tongue. But when you see it in paper in a big headline, you have to laugh, don't you? Mm-hmm. You have to laugh.
So a driver's back tail light.
Knock, you're no fun.
It's prepared to pay postage, if it's Scotland, England, Wales.
It's prepared to pay postage?
Yes, I knew of it.
Right, a 1983, right, okay. A 1983 Volkswagen Polo Derby, hatchback, perhaps. You're looking for a back bumper. See, if it's a hatchback, it may be important to know if it's a hatchback or not, if you want a back bumper. Back bumper and a back driver's tail light.
That's right.
Okay, well, consider that done, and everything will be happy. All right?
Right, that's okay.
The message has gone out, and the number to ring if you want to contact this programme, if you can help that lady, she's prepared to pay postage. It's 08459 555 678. Great shows last week, kid. Great shows which should be produced as a boxed set and inflicted upon the poor. I've often said, these programmes should be distributed amongst the poor. Speaking from his home in Lisburn, retired balloon blower-upper Hussein Doherty said, yes, it is true. I am an expert on great shows. The great shows I heard last week were, in my humble opinion, the greatest shows I've ever heard. When asked about the swift departure of UUP leader Tom Elliott, Doherty slammed the door and yelled through the letterbox, "You can't pin that on me! I was home all night with a girl from an escort agency. I know nothing about it." Tommy, my cat, stood on a soapbox and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, in the up-and-coming race for leader of the UUP, a desirable post, I'm offering 7-4 Mike Nesbitt, 3-1, yes, Basil McRae may rise, and 1,000,000-2 in David McNary." I pulled a Wells Fargo safe out of my pocket and I said, "I'll have a monkey on Nesbitt, a pony on McRae, and diddly squat on McNary." Tommy gave a wicked grin, a licence to play over his face, and he said, "Sorry, I can't accept diddly squats. They are not legal tender. The Dow Jones predicts that by 2 minutes past 4 today, the bottom would have fallen out of the diddly squat currency." "Freddie Mac and Fanny Hill," I said. I looked at Tommy as he put the final touches to a beautiful charcoal drawing of Lord Nelson's father, Full Nelson. Yes, will he go for it? Tommy wiped my hands on his tongue and he said, "With whom go for what?" "Leadership of the UUP," I cried. "Will Mike Nesbitt throw his cap, hat, bonnet into the ring? Leading the UUP is like minding mice at Captain Terence O'Neill's crossroads. The UUP is a divided party. The UUP has more splits than the Bolshoi Ballet." "If that be the case," I said, "why do they call it the United Ulster Party? A misnomer, I think." "Leave misnomer out of this," I cried. "She's only trying to make a living." Tommy ignored me, looked out the window at the Muffin Man and said, "The upcoming election will be dirty and the extreme name-calling will reach epidemic proportions. God help any man whose father ever attended a Gaelic match or seen in the vicinity of a chapel or cavorting at a gay pride march." I yanked out my remaining wisdom tooth and screamed, "It's a battle for hearts and minds." "Per Noel." Tommy coughed up a fur ball and he said, "Think of Ulster as a slaughterhouse. The best bits of meat are fought over by the DUP and the Shinners. What the UUP and the Alliance Party get is meat that's been hoovered up from the dirty floor after the two of them have left. Sausage and pies," I said. "It's awful that the UUP and the Alliance Party are left with awful. In my opinion, I think Mike Nesbitt should bide his time. Let the hair sit. After all, he's been on television." "I concur," I yelled. To Mike I say, "Chucky or la, Mike's chickens will be so pleased. They look up to Mike as a role model and father figure." "So let it be written," yelled Tommy. "Let it be done. Are you happy now, you UUP peers? You don't have Tom Elliott to kick around anymore." That quite exhausted me. I've been playing tracks from Paul Simon's 1980-something album, Graceland. It's a great album. People should play this more often. I haven't heard it for a long time. What was it, 1982, 1983, something like that? Can't remember. 1986. Thank you, my friends. I received the information through my ears. I could have held up my Shazam, but it doesn't work in here. But it might work in there.
Yeah.
Have you figured out where it works?
It's in there.
I'll come you in there then.
The Mississippi Delta was shining like a national guitar. I am following the river down the highway through the cradle of the Civil War. I'm going to Graceland, Graceland, to Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to Graceland. Poor boys and pilgrims with families, and we are going to Graceland. And my traveling companion is 9 years old. He is the child of my first marriage. But I've reason to believe we both will be received in Graceland. She comes back to tell me she's gone. As if I didn't know that, as if I didn't know my own bed. As if I'd never noticed the way she brushed her hair from her forehead. And she said, losing love is like a window in your heart. Everybody sees you're blown apart. Everybody sees the wind blow. I'm going to Graceland, Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to Graceland. Poor boys and pilgrims with families, and we are going to Graceland. And my traveling companions are ghosts and empty sockets. I'm looking at ghosts and empties. But I've reason to believe we all will be received in Graceland. There is a girl in New York City who calls herself the human trampoline. Sometimes when I'm falling, flying, or tumbling in turmoil, I say, whoa, so this is what she means. She means we're bouncing into Graceland. And I see losing love is like a window in your heart. Well, everybody sees you're blown apart. Everybody feels the wind blow. Ooh, in Graceland, in Graceland. I'm going to Graceland. For reasons I cannot explain, there's some part of me wants to see Graceland. And I may be obliged to defend every love, every ending, or maybe there's no obligations now. Maybe I have a reason to believe we all will be received in Graceland. Oh, in Graceland, in Graceland, in Graceland. I'm going to Graceland.
That's Graceland, of course, from an album called Graceland. Some communication here. Hi there, yeah, boy, yeah. That's an informal greeting. I've been trying to get a look at the Terry George short, Oscar-winning short film, The Shore, on iPlayer, and can't find it. Can you help or advise me? Now, here's an example of people trying to... Look, I'm falling off the seat. Look.
I see that.
Not only does it not work, you slide off it.
Do you want Canon?
No,
It
I don't.
needs adjusted.
No, it just needs to be thrown out and bring in the other one, the one they threw out. The only two places you can get where can you see the
Take your
shore?
time.
Right, it's on. I think it's on the Queen's Film Theatre at the moment.
What are you talking about?
Terry George's award-winning Oscar movie, The
We
Shore.
didn't know. We didn't know.
That's
what
because you weren't
were talking-
listening.
Yes, we weren't.
I said Oscar-winning film, The Shore. I said that. You weren't listening. You were talking about that. You can get it on iTunes. Okay, you can download it to your iPhone or indeed your laptop on iTunes for I think it's £1.49, £1.49, which is reasonable in my estimation. And you can also wait until it's on BBC, I do believe, on the 18th of March. So there we are. Or maybe it's the 18th of April. What date's today?
10th?
Whatever it is.
I don't know.
This is the 12th, yeah.
Is it? That's close.
Patrick's Day is on Saturday. I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah. Oh.
It's always a great day in this city.
Yeah. Tell me this.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever send anything by train or bus?
Oh, often, yeah, bus, yeah. You can't send anything by train because, you have to wait. You have a beard by the time it arrives. By bus, yeah. I often send things to... As a matter of fact, I was doing a gig in Belfast one time and I had to bring some records with me.
Yeah.
And I forgot them. And I arrived in Belfast and I had no records. Luckily, it was during the day and I didn't have to have these records until about 8 o'clock at night. So I phoned up the good people at the Gold Liner, the express bus, and I said, listen, if a person brought over a little box with records in it, would you bring them down the bus? And my daughter brought the box over and gave it to the conductor. And I said, give him a fiver. And he said, no, thanks, that's quite all right. It's a pleasure.
That's a lie.
It's a lie?
That's a lie.
What's a lie?
That part of it's a lie. They charge.
They don't charge.
They do. They weigh it and charge it. And
No, sometimes.
That's not.
If you have a casual arrangement, you say to the bus driver.
No, that did not happen.
It did not. Are you calling me a liar?
Yes. That part of the story is not true.
It is true.
This bus driver just said, "Oh yes, sure. Oh, yeah, oh."
Yes, he did.
And also,
do you know why he did that? Because he was unlike you. He was a human being.
Are you saying give him a fiver?
My daughter went over to the place.
Never happened. Janice said it never happened.
He's lying. He's telling a lie. Look, you're right, Sean. He's a liar. You're right, Sean. He's a liar.
They make money out of that. It's a service that the Ulster bus provides.
Yes, they do. But actually, if you asked them nicely, they would probably do it. I'm not suggesting that they do it. Look, will you stop?
No.
There are a number of things attributed.
I do it often.
I want you to listen to something now.
All right.
Try to listen to this?
Yes.
We talked about this earlier. This will bring you back. See, that wasn't the one we thought. That's music while you work. But you know what happens? See the song that we sang? It comes in later on. What do you hear? I'll tell you when it comes in. This is the intro, just. Here we go. Hut!
Good evening, BBC here. You're now witnessing one of the wonderful programs that we put on in the 50s. While you're listening to this, Gerald Michael Anderson is lying ill in bed in Londonderry, in Northern Ireland. This is a request for him, his mum, his dad, and all his siblings. This is sent in by a little baby called Sean Coyle, who's lying in bed with calipers on his legs. And he says he'll be all right. He hopes he'll be able to walk when he's 6. Well done, Sean. Get those calipers going. I've since discovered that under the stairs he found them. Cast away. Cast away.
Janet said it's called Calling All Workers.
That's us out.
It's like the typewriter song.
There's certain similarities.
Germany calling, Germany calling. I'd like to play a special request for a little boy in Rosemount, in Londonderry, in Nassau Street. Oh, he's from the Bahamas. Little boy who hasn't been out and won't be able to walk until he's 6. Oh, you'll miss everything. Oh, look at little Gerald Anderson running around playing football. Wouldn't you like to be like him? What a lovely little boy. British Forces Post Office.
Does not make your heart beat faster within your breast. Sorry, Janet.
Janet has knocked.
Can't you wait until the music is over?
Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Have you come far? Good evening to you all. My husband and I would like to ask you, have you come far?
There's a wee phone call.
You're no fun. I was enjoying myself there. Two of you look at me as if I was mad. It's the only pleasure I have, playing old
Fix
music.
that seat. It's very annoying. They look at you.
I have to... Look at the seat. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
You're disappearing.
I know I'm disappearing.
If people could only see what we see.
The people have brought this chair in and they threw the one out. The only thing that worked in here was the chair. They've thrown that out. Now the microphones don't work, the machine doesn't work, and now the chair doesn't work. And next it'll be me that's not working. Because I look at me, look at the way I'm sitting.
Yes.
Look. Dr. Stephen. It's Dr. Stephen Hawking. That's what I'm like.
Stop it.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, how are you today?
Morning, sir. Well, to date, I have never seen a Polo. It's not a hatchback.
Oh, one of those, eh?
You see, Polo, no, Volkswagen. Famous German cars.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know anything about cars. You need to get around the battery about this.
But sure, Jerry, you talk to that fellow that gives Clancy, who gives you about overhead camshafts and drive belts. Could he not educate you?
Well, you see, as talked about if you're talking about body work, it's battery you need to see.
Yes.
But if you're looking electrics, go to Barney.
No.
If it's engines, Francis looks after the engine.
Well, see, Jerry, I've had the electrics in the cars all my life. And into the bargain, Jerry, I've got a green suitcase up the stairs. You specifically said that they were all brown last week.
How old is your green suitcase?
I'm getting on too, Jerry.
How long have you had this suitcase?
A lifetime.
How did it become green?
It was definitely not painted.
You sure it wasn't painted? Was it originally green? Where did you buy a green? You must have brought that in America.
No, I've never been as far as that.
Maybe the case came from America.
No, there's a green suitcase in our house too.
Yeah?
Yes, we had a green case.
Was it a Republican case?
No, it was a very dark green case.
Really? Is yours dark green or light green?
Oh, no, it's darkish.
Yes, you see.
But, Jerry, your information's a bit like the internet. It's not too reliable.
Well, you see, I get all my information from the internet, therefore I am not reliable. I have never been reliable. People think I know what I'm talking about, but I don't. I just say things off the top of my head, the first thing that comes into my mouth. That's why I don't feel angry when people tell me a liar.
But, Jerry, I go up once a month to see a psychiatrist up the Lisburn Road.
Do you really?
To straighten me out.
I've never been to see those men. I don't need them.
They're they calm you down. You don't need to take alcohol.
I do.
Well, I don't. And I stay straight and alert most of the day.
Do you know something? I don't think I could continue without a wee drink every now and again. It's the only thing. What do you like that, Sean?
Yes, of course.
I need a wee drink.
In moderation.
If somebody said to me,
yes.
I mean, I've been told before, you should really give up cigarettes, and I could never conceive that. Oh, sorry. I could never see that happening. But then I did. I gave them up. But see, if somebody said to me, you can never drink again, I think I would never get over that. Because the only thing that keeps me going, a wee nip every now and again, lift your spirits. I think it's important. A wee bit of what you fancy does you good,
But, Jerry, everything in moderation is okay.
Indeed, I've always believed that.
Because today you can even have Rodine.
That's right.
That's true, isn't it?
That's right. Sure, well, wasn't it Liberace who said, too much of a good thing is wonderful?
And that leads to obesity like that guy early on.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, no. No, you're talking about Stephen Nolan. No, he's not obese. He's just fat. He's all right. Here, listen. Go away now. Thank you very much.
Jerry, thanks again.
Okay.
Your patient friend.
Thank you. Bye. I'm going to play another one of these. I think this is great. I'm like Nolan discovering Graceland again, or for the first time. I believe he's found Bill Haley.
She looked me over and I guess she thought I was all right. All all right in a sort of a limited way for an off night. She said, don't I know you from the cinematographer's party? I said, who am I to blow against the wind? I know what I know. I've said what I've said. We come and we go. That's the thing that I keep in the back of my head. I know what I know. I've said what I've said. We come and we go. That's the thing that I keep in the back of my head. She said there's something about you that really reminds me of money. She was the kind of girl that could say things that weren't that funny. I said, what does that mean? I really remind you of money. She said, oh, who am I to blow against the wind? I know what I know. I'll say what I've said. We come and we go. That's the thing that I keep in the back of my head. I know what I know. I'll sing what I've said. We come and we go. That's the thing that I keep in the back of my head. She moved so easily, all I could think of was sunlight. I said, aren't you the woman who was recently given a Fulbright? She said, don't I know you from the cinematographer's party? I said, who am I to blow against the wind? I know what I know. I'll say what I've said. We come and we go. That's the thing that I keep in the back of my head. I know what I know. I'll say what I've said. We come and we go. That's the thing that I keep in the back of my head.
Oh, that ended very quickly. I'm sorry about that. I just caught me on the hop here. Here's news about a gentleman who was featured in this programme not so long ago, a young singer-songwriter. He's only about 16 or 17 then, a year or so ago. His name is Paul Shevlin. And Becky writes to me and said, I remember hearing a young man play live in your show about 2 years ago called Paul Shevlin. He was only about 16 or 17 then. I heard recently that not only did he win the Northern Ireland regional final of a national music competition, but he went on to win the UK grand final in London last week. The competition was called The Next Brit Thing and was run in conjunction with the Brit Awards, PRS for Music and the government. The final took place at O2, Indigo and London. So I'm sure this is something we should celebrate, especially with all the doom and gloom around at the moment due to the recession. We need to promote our amazing local talent. Haven't I always said that to you and you've always said no?
Do you know...
Haven't I always said that to you and you've always said no, don't do that?
Do you know what I don't like?
What do you not like?
My friend.
You don't like your friend?
No, people saying that.
My friend.
People referring to you as
my friend.
Because you can take
Let me tell you this, my friend.
Or people can say to you, listen, my friend.
Listen, my friend.
It can be threatening, can't it? Listen, my friend.
I don't like guys that say, listen, boy.
No, my
I don't
friend.
like that.
Oh, but what I don't like is people say, thank you, my friend.
Thank you, my friend.
You know you don't trust that person.
You remember the great reply that a gentleman whom we know well told us about a friend of his, and we shall not name him because he is alive and well. He was very much taken by country and western and indeed cowboy movies, and he went to gatecrash a party in Belfast. Do you remember this one?
No, I can't recall.
I don't remember this one.
No.
And he went up to this party. It was quite an organised party, which had a bouncer and all at the door. It was kind of a do, you know, it was a private party VIP thing. And he thought he would, somewhere near the university area, it was it wasn't a student party, it was something quite important. He tried to gate crash it. And he'd been watching a lot of cowboy movies, and he based his behaviour on people that he saw on the screen. So he went up to the bouncer and he said, the bouncer said, I'm sorry, have you got an invitation? The fellow said, no, I haven't. Well, she can't get in. What did he say? Stand easy, stranger. Stand easy, stranger.
What?
Stand easy, stranger.
Wait. You bunch of fives.
Anyway, here are a number of things attributed. We were talking about the Reverend Spooner. Spoonerisms, in which he may or may not have said he once proposed a toast. He once proposed a toast to the Queen,
That's
and
the
it was
famous one.
the queer old dean.
Yeah.
And also he chastised a student, saying, "You have hissed all my mystery lessons. You have tasted a whole worm, wasted a whole term. You must leave by the down drain." Also, my favourite Spoonerism is a variation of Jill Dando, and I bet you won't say it. Of course I will. Dill Jando. What's wrong with that? And there's some other messages here. Let me see. I'm just going through these. My daughter was in the Avoca Cafe in the city centre the other week and told me there was a dishevelled-looking person sitting in the corner with his head in his hands with mad, raggedy hair. She said it was you. It was me, yeah. But I don't think I had my head in my hands. Oh, I might have been reading the paper, yeah. Thought you'd be interested to hear about a very unusual programme tonight. At BBC 2 at 12:20 after midnight. It's a This World documentary. It goes behind the scenes of an extraordinary Saturday night TV chat show in China where the presenter, who's called Ding Yu, he should be called Dig Yu. Wouldn't that have been great? Dig Yu. Ding Yu interviews death row prisoners in the week, sometimes even the minutes before they are executed. Great programme. Eh? Look forward to that. Yeah, that'll cheer us up some with no end. Also, look at this thing. Look, even the machine's not working.
By the way, The Shore is on BBC 4 on the 18th of March at 10 a.m.
Yeah, that's this Sunday night. BBC 4?
No.
10 a.m.? No, it's not 10 a.m.
That's what it says here.
But that's
why I
wrong.
said that.
It's 10 p.m.
Well, it says a.m. here.
Oh, who wrote that down?
Janet.
Janet.
What?
Janet.
What?
It's not 10 a.m.
Well, that's what she told me.
She's a liar. It's 10 p.m. at night. BBC 4. Well, why would it be on at 10 o'clock in the morning?
All right.
On Sunday morning. What is it?
You're welcome.
What, think about it. You don't sense. Do you not sense that something is wrong? You just write things down blindly? Do you not realise these things?
BBC 4's not on at 10.
Exactly.
It doesn't come on at 7 o'clock at night.
I know.
Well,
That's
what do
why
you mean?
that is. You say it's on BBC 4 at 10 o'clock in the morning. Did it not occur to
That's
you?
what the note says that I was handed.
Supposing it said, peace in our time, would you read that as well?
Possibly.
Would you not look at that and say, hold on a minute, that couldn't be right because BBC doesn't start until 7 o'clock at night? But no, you just tell them it's on at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's on at 10 o'clock at night.
But it might be on because it's the day after St. Patrick's Day.
Which is a Sunday.
Yeah.
That'll be on at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, yeah. And no other programmes start until 7. It'll be on just on its own, especially for Irish viewers.
There's a street in this town where the doors are all broken and the old people all go to die.
Sounds like Gerry.
There's a street in this town where trust got expensive. You dare not look a man straight in the eye.
Yeah, I think it is.
There's a street in this town where at 10 every morning you can't see a person at all.
Definitely Gerry.
The dogs all need walking and nobody's talking and the cat prowls on top of the wall.
This is Anthony. Did you hear that?
And
Did you hear that big surge there?
Yeah.
Somebody turned us up
Yes.
in Belfast. You see, we have no control over this. That's frightened the life out of me there.
Pupils dilated, teachers frustrated, as a matter of course every day. And the church in this town is where the virgin
This is a very good song by Anthony John Clark from Northern Ireland, but he's based in England. It's called Laughing at Clowns. I won't be able to play it all, but I'll play it all tomorrow. It's very good.
For no
Which is
other
why I'm
reason
talking over the top of it. I have to explain to you that you can't hear the rest of it until tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow.
Ah, come and give us a kiss. The kids weren't always like this, and we all have our ups and downs. Step this way and look. At least they still laugh at clowns. They still laugh at clowns. The hotel in this town, the suites aren't so sweet, and the tours do not tour anymore. The music's a hodgepodge of X Factor jukebox
insulting a wartime dance floor. When folks lived for the nights, Pathé News black and white, and a squeeze and a cinema cure. Lovers were lovers, and summers were summers. Sweethearts were just passing through. Ah, come and give us a kiss. The kids weren't always like this, and we all have our ups and downs. Step this way and look. At least they still laugh at clowns. They still laugh.